Hey everyone, Coach Lucas here. Hope you all are doing well. Happy Friday. Today I want to spend some time just sharing with you a little bit about who I am, and I also want to share with you one of the key tools that's been super effective in helping our players achieve success and improve their performances on the pitch. So I realized that I have a lot of families, a lot of parents, a lot of players that follow our social media accounts, that follow us and receive our emails, and obviously players and parents that are within our programs. And what I realized that for a lot of families don't really, if they're not in our programs, they don't really know who I am. And so although it's a lot of times like awkward to speak about yourself, I thought it'd be important to share a little bit about who I am for you, so that you have an understanding of Coach Lucas and what I'm all about. So I'd like to take the next 5-10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, just sharing with you who I am, where I came from, and it may bring you value. And at the end here, I want to share with you one of the tools, again, that has been very successful in helping our players improve their performances on the pitch. So for me, I grew up in Chicago, loved the game, loved soccer. Grew up in south side of Chicago, south suburbs, and loved the game. And throughout my youth career, I was doubted by a lot of coaches. Physically, I wasn't as fast or strong or as big as a lot of players that were my age. If you look at my freshman high school photo, I think, my jersey looked more like a dress than a jersey. So I was really small, tiny kid, but I really loved the game. And so it wasn't until I was about 20 years old, where I really started to develop physically. And so by the time I was 23, 24 years old, at that time, I was playing with some of the best players in the country at that time. And so I went from a player that was doubted by a lot of coaches, that was told I'd never play at a high level or play in college. I was rejected from a lot of coaches. I was cut from teams, the whole thing. And through that journey, it really forced me to develop strength mentally and to grow and develop and commit to my craft. And again, it wasn't until later in my career where I really blossomed and was able to play with some of the best players in the country. And so through that journey, obviously just through my love for the game, I started coaching after my playing career. And so I started coaching at a university in Chicago, and it was really through my playing experience and my coaching experience that I really started to hone in on, or being called to rather, to this mental part of the game. And I knew personally it was something that was significant, it was something that was important, it was something that was necessary for me to be successful in my career. And so it was significant for me. And then at the coaching level, when I was coaching in college, I realized a lot of players were getting to that level that weren't mentally prepared for the demands of the game at that level. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, these are top prospects. Like, these are top players in the state. Like, these are good players. These are talented players. But then they're getting to a whole different environment, a demanding environment, a college where there's high pressure, whether it's college or pro. And this is where the mental strength is absolutely necessary and really differentiates players from each other. At that level, everybody's technically skilled, everybody is strong, everybody is fast, but it's the mental side of the game that really differentiates players at that level. And you could talk to other college coaches, you could talk to other professional scouts, professional coaches. They look for players that are mentally tough, that are leaders, that can handle that type of pressure. And so it was really interesting for me to see that a lot of players were getting to this level ill-prepared. And so, curious about it, I started my own training my own training academy in Chicago. I also at the same time started working with Chicago Fire Academy, the juniors, started coaching the junior level, and it was blatantly apparent that the standard clubs and academies throughout the country were not providing the right tools, the right strategies, the right guidance for players to be able to grow and develop mentally. So bang, that's where I started coaching players within this capacity. I started to learn more and more about the mental side of the game and how to help players with this. And so, 900 players later, after working with players one-on-one and really starting this whole program and this whole company and this whole organization, just by working with players one-on-one, I really was able to acquire the knowledge and the experience to learn what players need to prepare themselves for the highest level. So anyhow, with that being said, I moved from Chicago to here in Florida. I'm in Naples, Florida. I have my wife. My wife is from Mexico City. We have 2 kids. We have a 3-year-old daughter. Her name is Jimena. We have a 1-year-old son. His name is Luca. And we really enjoy the weather here. We enjoy we're really, really grateful and blessed to enjoy life the way that we're enjoying it. And my whole focus, my whole career is focused on my family and also providing guidance for players to help them play at the top level. And so currently I work with professional players, I work with college players, and again, I work with academy players from all over the world. And as you can imagine, from starting this service for players to help them mentally, it has absolutely exploded. And I was able to bring on some really interesting team members. We have an Olympic strength coach, Leo Goldman, who helps us with, so I take care of the mental side. Leo Goldman takes care of the physical side, helping players develop physically under the same philosophy as Juventus, Belgium national team, so very high level. And it's a really beautiful partnership that we have there because it really helps players both on the mental side and the physical side. In addition to that, we brought on a coach who's an ex-teammate of mine who lives in Germany, and he grew up in the Bundesliga academies, and he's a professional certified scout, and he helps us with the technical skills and the tactical side of the game. So through this journey, we've really been able to develop a beautiful, holistic development approach to help players go from where they're at currently to being able to play at the top level. I also have Coach Corey, who helps us with the girls' side. She's a mental performance coach, one of the most successful mental performance coaches in the country. Originally started Mindset Sports, then decided to join forces here with MSM. And so anyhow, we've developed a really, really nice team of coaches, and we're really in a unique spot to help players in these unique ways. And so my goals with these players are to help them to build a resource. I really am interested in building this central key place to go for families and particularly for players that want to play at the highest level. There really isn't a lot of opportunity for players to have the right guidance and the right resources from top coaches readily available. And so that's what we're so eager on building, is building these resources so we can provide these players with the right tools, the right strategies to be able to play professionally and beyond. And so our dream, our vision as a company, as an organization, is to win a World Cup, which a lot of the critics out there would say we're crazy, but whether it's 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, that's what we're committing to. And so when we say we want to win a World Cup, we want to develop a player and provide the player, again, with everything that they need for a player that's interested in playing at that level and accomplishing that type of goal. And we want to support that. And we know that if we support that, we're going to be able to help a ton of players in their dreams of playing, just in their dreams of moving up a level at age 12, or playing in college, or playing pro. So it's really our North Star and what's driving everything behind what we do. Now, one of the things that I'd like to share with you, and it's just we have this really robust mental training progression, and if you haven't seen it, I created a video on this. It's called the MSM method, and it walks you through our progression model and shows you how players grow and develop through our model. But one of the tools that I want to share with you today is a tool that belongs within what we call the Tools of Champions, and it's one of the most effective tools that players use, that we've found that players use to achieve results. Okay, and if you notice this picture behind me, you're probably thinking like, what the heck is that? And that's what I would call an alter ego. And this is the same tool that we help players when it comes to performance. And so if you're familiar with the basketball player Kobe Bryant, God bless his soul, he had the Black Mamba. And this was a character that he developed that allowed him to go from the nice, friendly father, teammate in everyday life and turn into this competitive predator when it came time to play. And that to me was really interesting, because obviously there's you're not doing ball work to accomplish that. That's a mental thing. That's a mental transition. And so going through the process of learning how to do that, learning how to help players make that transition, we've developed the alter ego exercise. And so the alter ego exercise allows players to shed away characteristics that wouldn't serve them in a match. And it allows them to acquire the characteristics that are going to support them and serve them in a match. And so, for example, as parents, we teach our children to be nice and to be humble and to be kind and to share and to be friendly and sometimes to be quiet, and those are characteristics that don't belong in a match, right? In a match, that competitive fire, that willingness to kill, that predator instinctive primal nature is what's necessary to really play and perform at the top level. And so we use this tool to help these players make that transition before the game. This is just one tool of 50 tools that we have to help players in different facets, but it seems to be a fan favorite by a lot of the players that we work with. And so I wanted to share this with you, because I think that just by understanding this and just by understanding this concept, I think it may help players, and it may help parents whose players are struggling with these types of issues. So anyhow, the programs that we offer are Pro Mentality Training, which is strictly the mental part of the game, and it's that MSM methodology that I shared with you, the other video. And then our second program is Peak Performance Training, which combines both the mental part with the physical and the technical and tactical. And then finally, we have a third program called Professional Preparation Program. We're not offering that. That's no longer open to the public. So we closed that program. We're at capacity with that program. So for this year in 2022, we're just focusing on Pro Mentality Training, helping players go from hesitation, fear, doubts, making mistakes, struggling, and getting them to transition into a state where they're playing highly confident, dominant soccer consistently. And then we have the Peak Performance Training that allows us to pick an event in the future. So whether it's a trial, a tryout, we have a player in this program right now that's trying out he has a trial with Real Madrid's academy. So it's It's a program that's designed to peak a player, allows them, it's the whole programming that allows them to get to their peak performance when it matters most. And we use the mental part, the physical part, the strength training, strength and performance training, and then the technical and tactical parts, and combine those in a unique way that allows players to really grow, blossom, develop, and be able to peak their performance at a specific time. And it differentiates from the model that a lot of clubs and academies have. Why? Because most clubs and academies are focused on the team winning the next game or the team being successful in the season. Meanwhile, these individual players are trying to grow and develop and get noticed during these specific events. And so that individual attention is necessary for players to navigate the right way in this soccer landscape, to be able to individually navigate and grow and develop within the soccer landscape. And this isn't new stuff. They do this at the pro level. If you think about it, at the pro level, some players are preparing for a World Cup. Some players, it's their first year in the pros. Some players are new to the team or late to. So every player on the team, although they train together, they all have their personal protocols and their personal development training program that allows them to try to accomplish what it is that they're trying to accomplish specifically. So anyhow, I wanted to share this with you and give you a little bit of background on myself, give you some information on who I am, where I come from, and also give you some information about our company, our organization, what we offer, and also a useful tool that perhaps your player can use to improve their performances this season. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, my goal for this year is to continue to release some of these videos step by step, week by week, to be more transparent and to provide more value to families like yours that care deeply about your player's career and about your player's life. With that being said, let me know if there's anything specific that you'd like to be covered or you'd like me to share. Feel free to reach out to me, and hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Take care.